Hey there, welcome back. This is Daryl, and today we're tying up our fourth fly for the upcoming upstate South Carolina trout trip. We still have some openings, but we finished up with three nymph patterns. Now we're going to get into some dry flies, and the first one I'm going to challenge myself with is a foam fly. That's a black caddis fly. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll explain materials as we go along and as we tie it. Well, this here's the early black caddis. I put a white indicator on there, it's optional. But it's a size 16 on a emerger style hook, and it was a challenge. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get through and tie a perfect one in here. All right. The hook that I'm using is a nymph caddis pupa emerger style hook in a size 18. Wow, pretty small. Go ahead and we'll get that in there, and I believe it's a barbless. Yeah, it's a 2487 BL. And we're going to put that little tiny hook in here. I'm going to kind of position it like that for now. We're going to be repositioning it. My big fingers are going to get in the way on there. The thread I'm going to use is some black A-dot. And I'm just going to start at what looks like about the midway. And then we're going to use some black foam. And this is roughly the gap of the hook. And which, if you were going to measure it, maybe about 3 millimeters. Next I'm going to do is put a little arrow point on here. And we're going to and then I'm going to wrap back behind her. Now you could cut this piece a little shorter, but I kept it long so I can tie multiple flies. And we're just going to take the thread now back around the curve of the hook. And we're going to go ahead and tie it off back here. And then what we want to do is make 2 or 3 segments. I'm going to try to do 2. I think it looks a little bit better. And then we'll fold this over. You want it a little tight, not too no bubble edge in there or opening. We're not tying a beetle, even though it might look like a beetle, I guess. And I'm going to reposition the hook so it's up here. And hopefully, I don't know if you can see that, there's some segmentation in there, like 3 little bubbles. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim off our foam here. Really close. Then we're going to try to trim off some of this. So we don't. Next we're going to use is some white parapost. You can maybe use any color you want so you can see it. And this is optional, you don't need it. If your eyes are good to pick up a black fly on the water, congratulations, but I need a little sight indicator. And we'll fold that back. And if you want, we're going to tie in our black hackle. And I'm going to grab it down in this section here for the small hook. And I'm going to clean off some of that fluff down here. And then I'm going to take some off on the top side here so it looks a little nicer when I'm wrapping it. And I'm going to tie that in. And trim that little stem off right there. Now you could just wrap the hackle, but I'm going to use some black Awesome Possum in black, just to cover up some of those threads. You don't need much. You know, not much right there. Get a little hackle pliers here. And try to give this 4 wraps. Maybe 3.5. Take that off of there. Try to push some of this back. And I'm going to put a couple half hitches in there instead of using my whip finish tool. It helps me push those fibers back a little bit. Keep that eye open. And then we're going to trim this indicator just a little bit taller than the hackle. And there you have it. A early black caddis, made from foam on a size 18 emerger hook. Pretty small. The other thing I like to do with my dry flies is to treat them. I like the Loon Hydro Stop. And what I'll do, even whether a foam fly or no foam, I'll just put them in that for like 15 minutes before I get on the water or after I tie them. And then I'll take them out and let them dry for 24 hours and put them in the fly box. And they'll float a little bit better than when I'm on the water. When they start sinking, I can use that powdered stuff to dry them off a little bit. And like this Loon dust and on there, so I can get a little bit more time on the water with using this Hydro Stop. I find it works pretty well for me. Anyway, I'm Daryl. We'll see you on the water, and hopefully we'll cross paths up in the upstate fishing for some trout. All right, see you on the water.